Alright, I know what you're thinking. You read the title of the video and you're wondering, when is it all going to end? Another gardener telling me what it is I should be doing, what I should be growing in my garden. Why? Well, I gotta tell you guys, that's not what this video is about at all. But rather, I want to share with you some thoughts and ideas, my opinions on ways that you can get the most out of your landscape, create the most abundance, the most rewards coming from your garden. Now, these are ideas that I've been developing over time, and I'm continually implementing these ideas in my own garden, and I want to share them with you because I find them to be of much value. So what I've done to keep this video straight and to the point for you guys is I've broken down my thoughts on this subject to 4 different main topics, main ideas on ways that you can get the most out of your garden. So we're going to start with tip number 1, and that is plant what you can't buy. Now, most of us, when we first get into gardening, we do your typical gardening crops, tomatoes, eggplants, lettuce, beets, that sort of thing. Those are all great, and I'm not telling you not to grow those things, but something to consider would be, what is it that you can grow that you can't buy from the store? There are so many different varieties of plants that will do well in your landscape that you cannot buy locally at the store. When's the last time you saw fresh goji berries, for instance, at your local grocer? Or how about aronia berries? How many of you have ever had an Armenian cucumber? Or have been able to purchase fresh ashwagandha roots to make tea at home? So this is the first major point I wanted to make on this video. It's very important because garden variety and getting a wide array of nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs into your diet can be of great benefit to you. It gives you more enjoyment out of life as well when you're able to try new and unique things that you would otherwise never have a chance to try. So flip through those gardening catalogs, watch as many gardening videos as you can, get some ideas on different crops you might want to try, and have fun growing something unique and new to you. So my second tip for you is to grow crops that are going to save you money. There are going to be crops that you can identify in your local area that are just too expensive that you could grow in your very own garden. Now, some crops, like carrots for example, are really cheap actually to buy, at least in my area. We're able to get a 5-pound bag of organic carrots for about $4, and I find that to be a really good value. That doesn't stop me from growing carrots, but I'm just not as motivated to dedicate a large portion of our garden to grow something that we could purchase at the store for a rather low cost. On the other hand, there's produce being sold at the store that I feel is severely overpriced and makes better fiscal sense to dedicate a larger area to in our garden. Let me give you an example. The other day, Alice and I were at our local grocer, and they had a big display of apples. Now, these were conventionally grown apples, non-organic. They weren't even that fresh. Most of them had soft spots, and they were almost $2 a piece. They were $1.89 a piece. So the price of food is definitely on the rise, and I don't see it going down anytime in the near future. But have you ever seen a mature apple tree and how many apples you can get off of just one tree? Hundreds of apples. So for us, I could say it's definitely been a wise choice to grow an apple tree. We've actually got 2 apple trees growing now. They're still a bit young, but they're getting there. Another quick example I want to share with you guys are the price of figs, and it doesn't matter the variety, especially if they're organic, are through the roof. You get a little basket of maybe 8 figs for about $6 or $7. Well, have you been watching our videos? Have you been seeing how many figs we get off of these young fig trees that are growing in our backyard? It's amazing. I just can't imagine going back to a time when we didn't have our own figs and we had to buy these little baskets of figs from the store. It just cost way too much money, and figs grow well around here, so that's another example of a crop that's well worth the space and the small amount of time and investment that we put in to grow it. So figure out what those crops are and go for it. Alright, so the third tip I want to share with you guys is to grow plants that are easy to grow. A great example of this would be any perennial plant that you're able to plant just one time in your yard and reap a harvest, a reward, year after year. Fruit trees, berry shrubs, and one of my favorites here on site are my perennial greens that I grow that self-seed themselves and pop up new plants every year. For the most part, I do very little watering and care for these plants, yet they continue to give us a large harvest year after year. And in this busy world, although it's great to spend a lot of time in the garden, if you can spend that time enjoying it rather than having to do work, it's even going to be more enjoyable. So think about that. Grow plants that are easy to grow. And the fourth tip I want to share with you is to grow plants that are going to thrive in your area. Identify what it is that does well in your particular zone, in your neighborhood. Do a little drive around, see what people are growing in their front yard. If you can see a fruit tree or something popping up over the fence in the backyard, or if you know a neighbor or a friend who's having success growing a particular plant, then go for that. because every area is different, and even within certain city limits or towns, you're going to have areas that have particular microclimates where certain plants just seem to thrive much better than other parts of the town or city. And I'm not just talking about edible plants. It could also be ornamentals, things that may attract beneficial insects in, that bloom and flower, put off beauty in the garden. I'm a big fan of color in the garden, adding contrast, diversity. So get creative, and if you see a particular plant in your area that you're attracted to or is obviously producing an abundance of some sort of a food crop, go for it. So there you have it, guys. Those are my tips for the day. I hope you found this video helpful or entertaining in some way. If you did, we sure would appreciate your support by shooting us a comment below, rating this video. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. New videos every week, sometimes every day. And we're always sharing with you all the different things that are growing on around here. And so with that, I hope this video finds you and finds you well, out in the world and out in your garden, planting more abundance in your life. Take care, everyone. I'll be talking to you again soon.